Okay. Very warm good morning and good evening to all of you. I am Toastmaster Ravi and I am the Sergeant at Arms today. Uh, Welcome to Roseburg Speakers and Storytellers. As always, our meetings are all about having loads of fun as well as learning something. Therefore, I welcome you to have lots of fun today, especially because we have Tiger around, and learn something even when Tiger is around. With that, let me hand it over to our presiding officer, Toastmaster Mary. Over to you, Mary.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon from Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm out here trying to get rich, but Robbie just gave me a tip for the roulette table, so maybe I'll get lots of money but most likely we'll be broke in the next week. But anyway, great to have all of you here. Tage, excited to have you speaking with us today. And what are
Thank
you a
you.
Toastmaster in another club, I think, yes?
Yes, I am part of Center State Toastmasters Club.
And is that in India?
Yes.
Oh, that's wonderful. So great to have you here today. And Paul, are you still a guest or did you become a member? I think.
I haven't become a member yet.
But we're going to
There's like,
real soon, right?
yes, soon I will. Definitely.
Okay. All right. Well, glad to have you here today. And thank you for always stepping in to take a role. So,
Of course.
and Melva, love having Melva back with us. Great to see you, Melva. And I hope you'll continue to join us. You're serving as our timer today. So thank you. And then I believe is that all of us that are visiting as guests today. Just one quick note, two quick notes. Toastmaster leadership training has to be completed for all club officers by the end of February. So if you have not yet had training for your winter training, please go online, and I'm sure there's a time and date that will fit your schedule because you can go anywhere in the world. Secondly, Sarah, are you our area director?
Division director.
You're the division director. Okay. Let me just quickly move over to our division director before she comes to our Toastmaster Day. If you could just reiterate the dates for the area contest and the division contest so people can get it on their calendars.
Mm-hmm. Sure, thanks, Mary. For the area contest, it will be the 3 areas together, 21, 22, 24. RSS belongs to the area 22, and it's gonna be on March 16. In the afternoon, I still don't have the final time, but it's gonna be in the afternoon. And the division contest will be on April 6th at 9 a.m. Pacific time.
Okay.
Back to you, Marie.
And what contests are they? International speaking and table
and
topics?
Table topics. But actually, we don't have much participants for table topics, so that's probably it's gonna be only international speech.
Well, consider definitely table topics. If you are, all you have to be is a member in good standing. It's just like doing a table topics here. So I hope someone from our club will, if we don't have a club contest, if we have more than one person that wants to compete in a speech, we will certainly have a club contest, but at least an appointed one. But table topics, you don't have to do any preparation. You just get a 1 to 2 minute answer to a question. So please consider that. And I'm sure Sarah's also looking for timers, ballot counters, judges, and maybe, I don't know about any other roles. So please let Sarah know if you can help out on either of those dates. So with that, I will turn it over to our Toastmaster of the day today, our division director, Sarah. Over to you.
Thank you, Mary. Welcome everyone to another fantastic meeting of RSS. So to start, let me tell you the theme of the day, which is ice cream and other desserts. And the reason why I chose ice cream is because it is a very seasonal product. It is something that we start eating when the weather is getting better, when we have spring, when we have sun. And this is exactly what is starting to happen, at least in Germany. I know that in India, you always have a lot of sun and you can always eat ice cream. But in Germany, it's something that really makes people feel different to have these small stands with ice cream and go for it and go outside to the parks, and it's part of the summer feeling. And with this, I want to transmit to you this feeling of good weather, of happiness. And yeah, that's why the topic of the day. And let me tell you how the meeting is organized. We usually have 3 parts. In the first part, we have speeches. Today we will have 1 speech. Then we have the fun part, which is table topics, where we all can participate with non-prepared speeches. And then finally, we have the part of the evaluation, where we see how we did during the whole meeting, what we did good, what we can improve, etc. Because Toastmasters is all about feedback and getting better through applying this feedback. So if you want to know a little bit more about ice cream, let me tell you that it was first invented in China. But the country nowadays that most consumes ice cream, do you want to know which one it is? Can you imagine? It is US, followed by Australia, and then in the 3rd place, I couldn't imagine, is Norway. And also another interesting fact is that 90% of the Americans have always ice cream in their freezers. Now let me introduce with the technical team that will be taking notes on the meeting. I want to introduce them and so that they can explain their role. And I also will ask them to tell me if they like ice cream, which kind of ice cream or which flavor. First, we have our grammarian, Titin. Titin, please explain us your role and also which ice cream do you like?
Thank you, Sarah. The ice cream flavor that I like, I think when I go to ice cream store, then I would like to choose the unique flavor. Can be like mint or something that I haven't tested before, so that I could have experience of the new flavor. However, typically I like the chocolate ice cream. Now let me start with my role as a grammarian. I'm very happy to serve as a grammarian today. And as a grammarian, it is my responsibility to pay close attention to all the speakers, listening carefully to the language usage, and I'll take note of the outstanding words, quotes, sayings, or thoughts. And as a grammarian, it is also my duty to introduce the word of the day. Word of the day for today's meeting is scrumptious. Scrumptious is an adjective. It means extremely tasty or delicious. Example of the word scrumptious in a sentence. From breakfast until dinner, hawkers sell an infinite variety of some of the world's most scrumptious snacks. Another example of the word scrumptious in a sentence. RSS time is always a scrumptious time. So fellow Toastmasters, here is a little challenge for all of us. Let us mention our word of the day, scrumptious, as many times as possible in our meeting today. Let the language games begin. Thank you. Back to you, Sarah.
Thank you, Titin. That was an scrumptious presentation and also an scrumptious background. I really like it. Now I want to ask our timer to introduce her role and also tell us what's her favorite ice cream.
Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, fellow Toastmasters and your guests. I'm Melva. Right now I'm your timer. My job is to record the time of your speech. And as Sarah said that, we have 3 sessions, that is prepare speech, table topic session, and the last one, evaluation session, right? And then for speaker, we just have one speaker, right? There's just we. You need to speak 5 to 7 minutes. And then for table topic session, we have 1 to 2 minutes, and everyone can join, can participate, no wrong and no right. And the last one for evaluator, you have to speak 2 to 3 minutes, right? And if I show the green background like this, it means your speech still safe. Amber, your speech, yeah, still safe. And for the red one, you need to worry about design. And I'll give you 30 seconds to wrap your speech. And then for my flavor about ice cream, I just, I'm the opposite of Titin. If I go to the store, ice cream store, I just choose chocolate. I don't see another flavor. I think that's it. Back to you, Sarah.
Thanks, Melba. Chocolate is my favorite as well. Now I want to call upon Paul to tell us what's his role today and also which ice cream flavor do you like, Paul?
Thank you, Sarah. So today I'm going to be the awe counter, and I'm going to be counting all the little weasel words, the little words that you use just to fill silences. So I'm going to be counting ahs, you knows, ums, uhs, and yas. So my favorite ice cream flavor is actually this blend of 3 different ice creams. It's called Neapolitan ice cream. So it has vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry in it. And it is so good. It's like the best of like both words and everything. So I really, really like that one. But I also like mint chocolate chip, just regular vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry, and Rocky Road, actually. All right, back to you, Toastmaster.
Wow, that's an scrumptious option for ice because you have the favorite flowers there in only one ice. Now let's move to the first part of the meeting with the prepare speech today. And before going there, let me tell you which is the most popular flavor for ice worldwide. It is actually vanilla, and the second one is chocolate. I I was expecting more chocolate to be the first in the first place, but vanilla is also very good. Let's move to our speaker today, a Toastmaster guest for this club. And before introducing her, Tej, I would like to know which is your favorite ice cream?
It doesn't matter what flavor it is, unless if it is an ice cream, I'll end up eating it and ordering an additional flavor. But to be frank, I would like chocolate, anything on coffee flavor, then vanilla.
Thank you. Great election as well. Okay, Tej is working on the pathway persuasive influence in the level 2. The project is leadership styles. And the title of her speech is What's a Leader? What's a leader? Tej.
Over the last 15 years, I have worked with several people who claim to be leaders. During the initial days of my career, I wondered if there is a difference between a manager and a leader. I'm here to share 3 of my experiences with various leadership styles at my workplace. My first experience was in the very beginning of my career. One day, just as I was about to log into my work computer, just a second, I got some pop-up. I'm sorry about it. My first experience was in the very beginning of my career. One day, just when I was about to log into my work computer, my team lead walks towards me, and in full view of all the colleagues or co-workers, he yells at me, "Tejasvi, don't you know you need to check with me before you send your tasks to someone else to review? You repeatedly make such blunders." I apologized. I assured him that I wouldn't repeat such blunder anytime again. And I rushed to the restroom as I could as I couldn't hold back the tears welling up in my eyes. Repeatedly make such blunders? But that was the first instance. To this day, I wonder if my blunder gave him a license to yell at me in public. And that day I decided if I ever had to be a leader someday, I wouldn't yell at anyone in public. Instead, I'd help them understand and get better. My next experience took place after several years when one day one of my colleagues rushed towards me and with worried expression, she said, "Tej, I need to talk to you and it's urgent." That day, when we sat for a cup of coffee and she explained, she vented out all her frustration on our new manager, wondering why he needed to scrutinize every minute she spent in office. She even recollected how he confronted about her taking a break that was longer than usual. She was ready to explain herself, but the new manager wasn't ready to hear to any of her excuses. Then what she said that day, why should the length of the break time matter to him when I have delivered all my deadlines before that day? A month later, she quit. Back then, I praised her for her decision. But now I still wonder if that is the right decision. Though several years passed after that, these 2 instances always haunted me. When I look back, I used to think that in both the instances, instead of facing ourselves and instead of explaining our mistake, we stayed calm and we chose to run away. Earlier, I realized that it was just only our mistake, but over time, I realized that the manager or the leader needs to be matured enough to first hear to us than to jump to other conclusions. And then that's when I have understood that if I ever had to be a team lead someday, I would give my team an opportunity to first speak instead of judging them without listening. My third experience was when one of my junior team members approached me and said, "Hey, Tejasvi, I need to talk to you. I accidentally deleted some important data and I'm worried of the consequences. Can you please help me?" I asked him to relax first. I assured him that there's nothing to panic yet. Then I asked him to explain first what had happened. After I had a clear understanding of it, I was thinking what I need to do. But then I also reassured him that we would work together to resolve the issue. Later that day, I called my manager to explain the issue, to give him all the details, and also to give him a solution to rectify the problem. All this I did without blaming my junior team member. And after a couple of days after that incident is resolved, my junior team member came to me and he appreciated how well I handled the situation and how I had remained calm in that incident. Now, past week, while I was going through all the several leaderships as part of my Toastmasters project, I could connect to all the dots. And then I realized my leadership style is democratic. Now, back to my first question. When I asked if there is a difference between a leader and a manager, while a person can be both a leader and a manager, there is a slight difference or comparison between both of them. An effective manager is more about coordinating, operating, and planning tasks, while a leader focuses on inspiring and empowering team members. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tej. Indeed, very interesting to know these differences and also very inspiring to know your story. And another interesting fact about your speech is that democratic is also my leadership style according to the pathways to that project. Thank you very much. Now we are heading to the second part of the meeting with the table topics. And I will tell you some other facts about ice cream. And it is that there's a national month for ice cream in US, which is July. I don't know if you knew that, but there is. And what other interesting fact is that the Italian ice called gelato is the most popular art kind of ice cream in Europe. They normally produces like 20% of the ice cream that is consumed in Europe. With this, let me call upon our table topic master for today, who is also our sergeant of arms, Ravi. And before you go, you start with this section of the meeting. Tell us, please, which is your favorite ice cream?
And hi, everybody. My favorite ice cream, well, that would have to be anything that's, well, I wouldn't say anything. So there's this one flavor called almond milk, because I'm vegan, that I really love to eat. Oh, I said really once, count that. All right. So that's the only flavor that I'm fond of late. But before I turned vegan, there were plenty of flavors. I think almost any and everything that, well, anything that has chocolate in it, I would love to eat, is what I would say. Yeah. Okay. So with that, let's get started with our table topic segment. And I had a brain freeze right there if you saw me. And that was not because of ice cream, but that happens to all of us when we are all set for table topics, right? You have a, well, I wouldn't call it a brain freeze, but then your brain freezes, not the way it does when you have ice cream. So table topics is all about impromptu speaking. How is it that you get better when someone throws a question at you that you're not ready for? You typically get anywhere from 1 to 2 minutes. Our timer is going to show you the green card at 1 minute, the yellow card at 1.5 minutes, and the red card at 2 minutes, and you'll have 30 seconds of grace time. Our grammarian has her word of the day in her title, and I would remind everybody to use it about the table topic segment. And for those of us who were busy looking at the desert in Titin's background and not paying attention, the word of the day is scrumptious. So please use it each time you get called on to participate in table topics. With that, let's get started. I would like to call on Mary. Okay. Mary, since you're in Vegas, I'll ask you a question that I'm also thinking of impromptu, to be honest. There's this wonderful store that I've heard of in the Bellagio that has a sort of a chocolate fountain or a dessert fountain that goes all the way from the ceiling to the floor. If you were to have to spend an entire day there, what kind of desserts would you eat?
Thank you, Ravi, for that wonderful table topics question. And it's sadly a bad time for me and sweets because right now I'm Catholic and we celebrate a time called Lent where you give something up. And so I decided to give up my most favorite thing, which was sweets. And so that's really a challenge. And now knowing that, because I am going to the Bellagio, there's a Cirque du Soleil show at the Bellagio. So I'm going to be, so I will search out that desert fountain and I'll just have to look at it and, be the martyr. No, thank you. I don't want any this time. Already my friends brought a dozen donuts in for breakfast and I had to, no, thank you. I don't want any donuts. So yeah, I'm playing the true martyr. So no sweets for me for 40 days. But if it was not Lent, anything chocolate. I'm apparently with a great group of people here. We're chocolate eaters. Anything chocolate and ice cream, chocolate, but what add to that chocolate ice cream? Let's put some brownies in it and some nuts and some marshmallow. The more goo in with my chocolate ice cream, all the better. I never understood people that there's a place called Baskin Robbins, 31 different flavors of ice cream. I love to sit and taste them all. And I bring someone in there, can I have vanilla, please? I'm like, you have 31 different flavors and you choose vanilla? I never understood that. So, chocolate for me, dessert, anything with chocolate in it would be that. So, I'll let you know my outcome when I go to the Bellagio. Back to you, Table Topic Master.
I look forward to seeing some scrumptious pictures from the Bellagio visit. And yeah, you forgot to use the word of the day. And are you going to see, or rather watch O? Is that the... It is, okay. All right, have fun. All right, now let's pick on Tiger. He's looking lost in the weeds, or rather the flowers. Okay. Tiger, what makes you have all those flowers? I mean, is that desert for you? But that's not your table topic, by the way. All right. So, Tiger. Ice cream cups come in all sizes. What's the ideal size of an ice cream cup and why? Ice cream cups come in all sizes. What's the ideal size of an ice cream cup and why?
The ideal size of an ice cream cup? Is that the question? The ideal size of an ice cream cup is 4 feet in circumference and about 1 meter high. Now the trick is, how in the world are you going to keep this ice cream cold? No worries. I have developed with my engineering team a freezer that is circular. It is 5 feet in diameter and it's 3.5 meters high. You plug it in, or you can use the solar panels if it's warm enough outside to keep it cold. So you put your tub, ice cream cup, inside this freezer and you have a party. Imagine going to a party, having a barbecue, eating hot dogs and hamburgers, and then having a large scoop and going and scooping yourself as much ice cream as you want. And to keep Paul happy, we are going to have Neapolitan ice cream in our giant ice cream container so that everybody's happy. If you can't live on vanilla, strawberry, and chocolate, you're not welcome at my party. I'm sorry. Bring your own ice cream. If you want to eat pistachio ice cream, go ahead. Bring it yourself. You can put it in our freezer. That's just fine. Ice cream is a great way to get people together. Think about when you were a kid. What was the best thing when you went to a party? Oh, you can't see my cake. There you go. Cake, chocolate cake, and ice cream. If you had chocolate cake and ice cream and you invited friends to your party, you let them know that you're going to have chocolate cake and ice cream, I guarantee that you would have a large party. A birthday is nothing without ice cream. So come to my barbecue. You can eat as much ice cream as you want. Thank you, Mr. Table Topics Master.
Thank you, Tiger. I was stuck with the dimensions of that container that he kept talking about, the ice cream cup. He said 4 feet in circumference and a meter high. Talk about mixing up units. I mean, come on. All right. Who's next? Let's see. How about Yasmin?
I knew
She's
the
also-
moment I'm gonna warm up, he's gonna pick me up. I was trying to look serious, but there you go.
Okay. So we're going to move away from desserts for this one, Yasmin. I'm going to give you a serious one. Not serious, but that depends on how you take it. Yasmin, if you were to write a letter to your best friend, what would you write about? If you were to write a letter to your best friend, what would you write about?
That's a
Yasmin.
very interesting question. First, I will have to find a best friend. Second, I will have to find a paper to write because these days I'm writing all digitally. Third, I will have to find a post office to post. But nevertheless, I have the bunch of best friends here to whom I can pass on this letter as a piece of advice. And my advice to you guys is you all love ice cream. I have heard you all scrumptiously talking about ice creams in a Roseburg Speakers Storytellers meeting. I see even some of you eating chocolate pies during the meeting. But my sincere advice to you all is be kind to your teeth, be kind to your sugar level, be kind to watch as to where you must stop. So everything sweet is delicious. We must enjoy it, but we must also know as to when to stop. And never eat your favorite ice cream alone without sharing with me because I have had made you all my best friends. So this is the bunch of 2 piece I will write to my friends. Be cautious of how much you eat and don't eat without me. Thank you, and back to you, Ravi.
Right. Next. How about we have Paul? If you could share your favorite dessert with somebody, who would that be and why? If you could share your favorite dessert with somebody, who would that be? Why?
I think if I had to share my favorite dessert with anybody, it would probably be my parents. So my mom and dad. They're the ones who introduced me to Neapolitan ice cream, the most scrumptious ice cream I could ever hope to eat. Oh my God, I love that stuff so much. They introduced me to basically every flavor of ice cream that I can think of. Anyway, I think they introduced me to mint chocolate chip. Mary mentioned Baskin Robbins, and they used to take me there all the time because there's like several Baskin Robbins locations in our city in the Bay Area. And I remember like every single time I went there, I got mint chocolate chip ice cream. And it was just so icy, so beautifully flavored, I guess you would say. And it was just one of the highlights of my childhood every single time I got mint chocolate chip ice cream. And I know I said that my favorite flavor is Neapolitan, and here I am talking about mint chocolate chip. But I think it must be a tie or something. Because when Tiger mentioned the giant 4 foot in diameter by 1 meter high tub of ice cream, oh man, my taste buds just started going crazy, just going nuts. Like I really, really want that now. And let's see, what other ice cream flavors would I like to eat with them? Probably Rocky Road, mint chocolate chip, regular chocolate chip. And then there's the Oreo one that my parents introduced me to. They get that periodically. And it was just so delicious. And I love them so much too. So when you enjoy things, you want to be able to enjoy things with the ones you love. So I think that's why I would choose my parents. So back to you, Toastmaster.
Save a scoop for each of us as well. All right. I think we have some time, so let me call on our timer for the day. She's been waiting to talk about her favorite dessert, I think. May I request somebody else to time Melba, if possible? Or let me see if I can do that.
I can do that, Ravi.
Okay. Thank you, Yasmin. All right. Melba, if you were given a lifelong supply of your favorite dessert, what would you do with it? If you were given a lifelong supply of your favorite dessert, what would you do with it?
Okay, thanks Ravi for the question. Talking about dessert, in here in Asia, especially Indonesia, we have different dessert. Probably in Europe, mostly like what's that, ice cream, and then something like sweet pancake, or yeah, the sweetness. But in Indonesia, mostly like risol, and then how the es buah. Yeah, probably you seldom hear about that, but Indonesia dessert means dessert. We seldom to eat dessert because we often add heavy like rice, and we eat snack in the beginning. So if uh if something that's I eat for dessert, yeah, I eat it just like my tongue can taste the flavor like traditional food in here. I sell in Indonesia we most how to say that, we most like eat something like dessert like special for Indonesia, like not like Europeans dessert. I think that's it. Back to you.
I think we're looking forward to hearing about some of those scrumptious desserts from Indonesia in the chat. So do tell us, and then we'll explore and see if we can get hold of those here as well in our other countries. All right. I think we still have time to go round robin and pick on everybody else. So let's start with Titin. Or well, let's continue with Titin, I mean.
Yes, Ravi.
Okay. Titin, imagine that you run Baskin Robbins and you've been asked to come up with a 30-second flavor. What flavor of dessert would you choose?
For the 30-second flavor of Baskin Robbins, I would like to have the combination from these 31 flavors. Just combine all of them so that everyone Who would like to try this 31, all of these 31 flavor, but they do not have a chance to taste each of these because there are quite a lot, 31 flavors. So they can just buy this one flavor, which is the combination from all these 31. And yeah, they can taste all of this flavor in just one scoop of ice cream in one go. So I think that will be a good deal for them. They can just buy one scoop only and they get all these 31 flavor, which I myself also would like to buy if they provide this 30-second flavor, which I can try all of this all together. However, I think that not all the stores are serving this complete flavor. And yeah, we need to go to different stores of Baskin Robbins to be able to taste the unique flavor of the ice cream. Then if I can come up with this 30-second, which is the complete one, I hope then it will be a booming flavor so that I can make lots of money from this 30-second flavor of ice cream. Back to you, Ravi.
10 said, combine all 31 flavors. I could see Sarah was already imagining what that would taste like. Okay, so Sarah, do we have time for another couple of table topics? I think we do. Okay.
Yeah.
Sarah. Okay. So there's this English saying, absence makes the heart grow fonder. Which dessert do you think you could stay away from for a long, long time?
It's such a difficult question because I'm the same as Mary. I need sweets to survive. So it will be very difficult to stay away from many, many desserts. But now that I was researching a little bit about ice creams, I found that there are some flavors that I am really not very curious about tasting. For example, I read that in Japan, there are some flavors with the with shrimps or with fish or with some other unusual stuff. And I was thinking that I'm not sure if I want to try those ones. Sometime time ago, I also heard that there was an ice cream with avocado flavor. And my reaction was like, what? Avocado? I use avocado for guacamole, but not for ice cream. I will never try that. But actually, I tried it and it's very good. So I was also thinking maybe this fish ice cream sounds strange, but it's really good. But in any case, if I have to be um, if I have to avoid some desserts, I will firstly avoid those strange flavors, and then it will be a suffering, but maybe I will avoid the other sweets. Back to you, Ravi.
Ice cream. I haven't tried that. I haven't come across it here in India yet. Let's see if they make a vegan version of it. I'll give it a shot. Okay, one last table topic. I think we have time for. Do we? Someone saying no. Okay, so our speaker for today, she loves table topics. She's told me that at work. She and I are part of the same other club. Okay, so Tejaswi, If you were asked to teach something to a classroom full of kids, what would you teach them? If you were asked to teach something to a classroom full of kids, what would you teach them?
Thank you, Ravi, for that topic. So if I can recollect my past and go back to my schooling days, we used to, for every Teachers' Day that is celebrated on September 5th in India, we used to have students dressed up as teachers and we used to go to the kindergarten schools. That's one of the fondest memories I had on a Teachers' Day. So one year I went to a first standard kids school, and then I taught them mathematics because mathematics is my favorite subject. But then I couldn't control the crowd there because I mean the first bench student speaks to second bench and someone at the last bench just immediately goes out of the room. It was very chaotic situation for me. So if I get a chance to teach kids something in their life, I think I will start with teaching them discipline. I'm not sure whether I will succeed in that or not, but then that's what I would love to teach them. And I also would love to teach how to respect and how to look at their teachers in a positive way than just running away from them. Thank you.
She was in a classroom full of about 200 kids just the other day, but then she didn't teach them anything, I think. Anyway, just pulling her leg, which I'm not supposed to be doing, not when it's being recorded, but that's another story. All right, so with that, we come to the end of our table topics. And before Tiger jumps in, I will hand it over to
Ravi, you do not get away free from table topics. Sorry, sir. We have enough time. We have 2 more minutes. So here's your question. If you could have an ice cream party with anybody, alive or dead, I want 3 people that you would have an ice cream party with, and what flavor ice cream would you have at your party?
Okay. 3 people, alive or dead. What flavor? Well, the first person that I can think of would be my dad. He, in fact, used to work for the longest time in an ice cream factory, believe it or not. And believe it or not, I never used to get free servings or helpings of ice cream ever. So that would be the first person I'd pick. I'd pick my dad. Now, the second one, I think I would pick, well, it's difficult because this is being recorded. I don't want it to come back at me. So I'd pick all of you. Every one of you. And some of those who haven't been here in a while, I'd pick all of those folks as well, because I haven't met any of you other than Tejasvi, who's from the same city that I'm in. I've not met any of you. So any excuse to catch up with all of you in person, and I think an ice cream party would be a wonderful excuse. So I'd pick each and every one of you, and those of us from Roseburg, who speakers and storytellers who aren't here, I'd pick them. And finally, the third person, well, since my mom is next to me, I'd pick her. Although she doesn't eat a whole lot of ice cream, that way I would get to eat all the ice cream that she'd get. And I've not even been looking at the timer card, so I don't know if I've gone over time, but I forgot to pick a flavor. So I would pick the 30-second flavor that our grammarian has just come up with from Baskin Robbins, because it would have all 31 flavors in them. And therefore, everyone would be happy and we would all have a scrumptious time. That's it. Back to you, Sarah.
Thanks, Ravi. That sounds like a scrumptious party indeed. Now let's go to the third part of the meeting with the evaluation of the whole meeting. Mary, please let us know which is your favorite ice cream before you start with the evaluation.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. And what a scrumptious meeting this has been so far. Make sure I get in my word of the day at least once. As I mentioned before, chocolate or anything with chocolate is on my list of favorites. But when someone mentioned Rocky Road, that is a particular favorite of mine because I get the chocolate ice cream plus some marshmallows and chocolate chips. And so that would be, I think, a choice favorite for me. And this is torture talking about all these sweets. And I'm really challenging myself. I'm going to be good and not have it for 38 more days. So you know what? The first thing I'm going to have on Easter Sunday is ice cream because I'm screaming for ice cream. Okay, to continue our scrumptious meeting, I would like to have all the different evaluator portion of this meeting. We will give feedback to both our prepared speaker, and the other people that spoke today, opportunities to speak, and we'll evaluate some of the things that they did well and some things that maybe they could improve on. Starting with our prepared speaker, Tej, she was evaluated by Yasmin. So Yasmin, could you give us her oral evaluation in 2 or 3 minutes? Over to you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, General Evaluator. Tejaswini. First of all, I must congratulate you for a very pleasant presence on the screen and very confident style of delivering, well-structured and well-written speech. You delivered it with calm, composed style. I really liked the conversational style in which the examples were put up, and very well use of examples. They were just not random examples, but those were examples which helped us understand a complex topic. And when you were narrating every example, I'm sure some or the other instances, our real life experiences, were reflected in our own mind. We were feeling, yes, something like this has happened to us as well. So those were all very relatable examples. I congratulate you really on that part. Coming to next, as to what you could have done better. I loved your calm and composed presence on the screen, so much so that I would have loved to see it more better. The way your computer was positioned, you had to look downwards on the screen. And to me, I would have enjoyed it a bit more elevated when you were looking directly, and I would have seen a little bit much of your body part. This is just on the presence on the screen, just as we have to constrain ourselves in this small box. Secondly, I noticed you very gracefully addressed one distraction you faced. You had something on your computer which made you say, sorry, I noticed something is there. You were very kind to say, sorry, this is distraction, and I continue. This is the right way to do it. But perhaps you could have also ignored it, because we would just not have had noticed it. So until and unless your notes were in the screen, you could have just played impromptu and we would just not notice. Perhaps you could have used a move to make the things flop around you without that realizing that you are troubled. Second, practice is the key. While we are rehearsing, there is a possibility that we miss a couple of words. We have to really bring the sentence back. We forget, oh my God, how the sentence is gonna flow. In that case, I would suggest just fly high. Just let it fly. Use some humor, some tricks in between, so that we do not realize that maybe there is a hesitation in the speaker. Maybe the sentence is being repeated. Another way which could help you is table topics. If you try a little bit more of impromptu speeches, even if these barriers or hurdles would come in your way, you would just let it pass on smoothly. You will transition. And the third challenge that I have as the last piece here is to add a little bit of humor. I know the subject was serious, but that's why it is challenging. If a little bit of humor here and there, just keep the audience attracted, because even if they have moment of distraction, they come back to see, oh my God, what is it that we missed? Why is everyone smiling and laughing? It's a little bit of humor. These are the 3 points you might consider. And otherwise, I must thank you for the wonderful speech and for sharing the difference between a manager and a speaker. Looking forward to more and more of these. Thank you, Tejaswini, and back to you, ma'am, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Yasmin.
Thank you, Yasmin. That was wonderful feedback. And I echo what you said. I thought it was an outstanding speech with some great tips about being a good leader beyond the difference between a manager and a leader. I learned a lot from that. Well done, Tej. Now I'd like to move on to other portions of the evaluation portion of meeting. I'll start first with our we'll stay with later with the Oh yeah, no, Pine. That's right. We switched it from Udley to Paul is going to be our counter. Paul, would you mind giving us your report on how we did today on fillers? Over to you.
Absolutely, Mary. So I just have to say that we did incredible as a meeting today. As a group, as individuals, there were really not a lot of filler words used. So I know I'm called the awe counter, apparently, but I was only able to catch one awe ever said in the whole meeting. Now, there were some other words that were used. So some of the notable ones were ums. I counted 17 of those. There were 13. Likes, there were 15. And then there were some repeated words and phrases that were said, and I counted those to be about 12 times. Now, one thing I did notice in Tejaswi's speech was that she said no ahs, no ums, no uhs, no filler words at all in the entire speech. Like I was just laser focused in on her speech, trying to find any filler words that she was saying, and I didn't catch any of them. So that was the highlight that I was able to find. And now back to you, Mary.
Excellent. That was good listening, that you were really trying to listen and couldn't find any. Well done, Tosh. If I could just offer a suggestion, though, in the future, you may want to do it by person's name. And what you do is you just so that the person that is doing those filler words, and if it's more than 5, we just say they did more than 5. So, but great job, Paul. Thank you for sharing your report with us. Next, I'd like to call upon our grammarian and word of the day, Titin, for her report. Well,
Yes, thank you, Mary. So let the language games begin. It's a pleasure listening to all of your speeches. And now I would like to point out some of the words, the sentences that can be improved. Let us learn together, and I'm also learning together with you. First one, I get only 2 from this meeting. First one, I seldom to eat desserts. My suggestion will be to eliminate the word to. Just say, we seldom eat desserts. And the second one is more better. To avoid redundancy, I would suggest to just use the word better without the word more. And now for the figures of speech that you mentioned during the meeting. First one, metaphor, comparison between 2 things that have something in common, as if 2 things were one. However, it does not include or use the word like or as, only comparing 2 things, birthday and the birthday without ice cream and nothing. A birthday without ice cream is nothing. So comparing a birthday without ice cream with something that is not fun. However, if we use the word like or as, then it is a simile. So I did not hear any simile in the speeches for this meeting. Second one, antithesis, striking opposition or contrast in the same sentence. The sentence was, why does the length of the break time matter while I need to submit my work on time? I consider this as antithesis, contrasting between the break time, which was considered to be something that was important, and the need to submit the work on time. Next, the idiom connect the dots to understand the relationship between different pieces of information to form complete picture. And next one, hyperbole, extravagant exaggeration. The ideal size of ice cream cup is 4 feet in diameter by 1 meter high. Last one, a paradox, statement that appears to contradict itself in the same sentence. I never get any free scoop of ice cream despite my father work in an ice cream factory. Now for the number of times the word of the day, scrumptious, was mentioned. Sarah twice, Ravi twice, Yasmin once, Paul once, Tiger once in the chat box, Mary twice, and once in the chat box. Okay, apologies for the word of the day that I missed. And I do find wonderful sayings, quotes that you have mentioned. Let us start with Tejaswi. Managers and leaders need to listen before jumping into decision. Next one from her, a leader focuses on inspiring and empowering team members. From Ravi, brain freeze. From Tiger, ice cream is a great way to keep people together. From Yasmin, we have to be kind to your teeth and be cautious of how much you eat and don't eat without me. From Paul, the highlight of my childhood, this phrase. And from Sarah, I need sweet to survive. From Rafi, I would love to, from Tejaswi, I would love to teach the children to be disciplined and respectful. And the next one, I heard from both Paul and Mary, Rocky Road ice cream. With that, I would conclude my scrumptious journey of the linguistic wonderland. Back to you, Mary.
Excellent report. Thank you, Titten. Melva, do you time my general evaluation or do you want to give your report first? Some clubs, I can't remember if we timed the general evaluation.
Actually, I didn't report my time, but
Right.
if I've done, I will.
Okay, I'll go ahead and turn it over to you to give your timer report. Melva, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Mary. This is the time of your speech. And actually, almost people speak. Oh, wait. This one. Hey, I'm so sorry. Okay, wait. Almost people speak on time. I think that Jasmine spoke over time. 53 seconds. Yeah, we know that Jasmine like to give speech over time because she likes to give advice for speaker. I think that's it for my report. Back to you, Mary.
Okay, thank you. So if people will look in the chat, it has all the times for all the different table topics and things. But well done, Melva. Thank you for timing us. I think we're doing excellent on our timing today. So my overall evaluation of the meeting, it was once again a fantastic meeting, a scrumptiously delicious meeting from beginning to end, with starting on time, having all the roles filled, a wonderful theme with an appropriate word of the day that went along with the theme, what actually was a really fun, sweet word to use. We use that quite a bit today. I want to particularly applaud our Toastmaster today with introducing some very interesting facts about ice cream. I thought they made great transitional sections, and that's what a master of ceremony. I think that is one skill that we really, I want to say really, really, like you would. I think that really, really has become it's appropriate. But I'm just going to say time. I think it's a really important skill as a master of ceremony or Toastmaster Day to provide these transitional statements, because when you are leading a meeting, sometimes things happen, there's a little delay, and master of ceremonies are caught unaware. They don't know how to fill that time. But having some prepared information that you can share to fill that time is an excellent skill. And I think Sarah showed what a wonderful skill she has in that and was able to fill our time from transition. So I wanted to point that out. What a great thing. Thank everyone fulfilled their jobs well. Wonderful speech, wonderful evaluation. I can't think there's anything that we can do better except for getting some of our members that we haven't seen for a while. Love to have some of them back, but great meeting. That concludes my general evaluation. I'll send it back to our Toastmaster today to conclude the meeting and send it back to me.
Thank you, Mary. Thank you for this great and scrumptious meeting. And if you were wondering, what about all other desserts and not only ice cream? I did a research on the most popular desserts besides ice cream, and they are, for example, apple strudel from Germany, Black Forest cake from Germany, and also brownies and chocolate chip cakes from the US. And also find one interesting dessert from India, which is kulfi, also made out from ice cream. Thanks for the meeting again. And with this, I will pass the word to our Madam President, Mary.
Excellent. Again, thank you for serving as our Toastmaster Day. Did an outstanding job, Sarah. Appreciate that. Couple more announcements. I want to first congratulate Tiger for completing his level 5 in engaging humor pass. So yay, kudos to Tiger. Great job, Tiger. And he gave our club credit for that. Appreciate that. I wanted to find out about volunteers for the International Speech Contest and Table Topics Contest. To be an international speech contestant, you must be at least a level 2. So I know we have some members in our club that are eligible. Please let me know, raise your hand or chime in. Are you interested in being in a club contest for the International Speech Contest? Anyone interested or considering it? Great. We have Tiger. Anyone else? See, don't be intimidated by Tiger. He's really good, but he needs that competition. So, right. I'm so Ravi, you're right. There's several of I told Yasmin to be a contestant for the speech evaluation contest. Ravi, is that what you're saying?
No,
Yes.
I can't. I'm
You-
not eligible for evaluation contests anymore. I'm just scared of the timings. Like, it's the time zone might not work. So if I have the schedules, maybe I can try.
Okay, well, consider that. That's for the international speech he was saying. If not, table topics doesn't require, any advanced preparation, but you would have to be there for the March 16th, April 6th, hopefully be able to represent us then. Okay, so right now we just have Tiger. We do have a few more weeks. If not, we'll give Tiger the opportunity to practice his speech on the week before the March 16th area contest, so that he will have a chance and we'll do a round robin so everyone can give him some feedback. Okay, and anybody interested in the table topics contest? Again, no preparation, and all you have to be is a member in good standing. Is there anyone that would, raise your hand? Is that you, Tiger? You're going to do both?
Why
Anyone?
don't we have Paul as if he can sign up and be a member in time? Why not Paul?
I will do it. If two more people want to do it, I will back out and do it with another club. We can have two representatives without a club meeting.
Oh, we have 2 reps for ours.
Every
because
club gets 2 reps.
Oh, okay.
You don't even have to have a club contest to have 2 reps. So if 2
Right.
people want to do it, I'll back out and do it
Yeah.
with another club. So, but if you're going to do it, we need to know pretty soon.
Yeah.
And I encourage everybody. Tabletopers will be fun. No prep. Just show up.
It's
Titin,
just
you
doing
are not eligible? Is it that you are an officer and you are not eligible, Titin?
What's that, Yasmin?
For Titin, I was wondering if Titin is eligible or not.
No, if you're a district officer, you're not eligible to compete in anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And same as for Ravi, I believe. You're officer as well, Ravi, right? So
Okay.
that
I
leaves,
didn't-
yeah,
I also am a division director and
yeah. So
and
that
I-
leaves Paul and me here. And Paul, if you do, then I do.
Well, my life is kind of I guess in transit right now, so I don't think that I'm able to do it.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, if again, table topics, you just do, it's not any advanced preparation, and we would have it during those meetings. But there is the 2 other meetings.
Gonna try and talk
Oh,
along.
Yeah, and we have some people that aren't here today, members, so we can send something out and try to get a. I had forgotten that we get 2 reps each. So yeah, we'd love to have at least 2 representatives for each of those contests. Officers, we talked about having an officer meeting. I know yes, I'm sorry. Yes, Robbie, can you stop the recording? I would like to have a club officer meeting next Monday, either before or after our meeting.